If you're a DJ and playing regularly, I'm sure you've realized by now that quite often tracks may include really long drawn out breakdowns in the middle of the track with not a lot going on. Now, some of these tracks may even have a minute or two with no beat. And even though the sounds in this breakdown, they may be awesome and they may build up to something really, really awesome and inspiring even, right? The question is, how do you play these breakdowns without killing the dance floor? As let's face it, right? The beat is a safety net for people on the dance floor, and take away the beat, honestly, people may decide it's a good time to go and get a drink. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways to approach breakdowns. So not only can you play the breakdown, but you can control the energy and actually build the vibe on the dance floor without skipping a beat. One little disclaimer though before we jump in, and that is, this video is more about the arrangement and the flow and the energy that you can create, and less about hot cue work to create mashups on the fly, as I feel that's a separate video in itself and one that I may release soon. But I first wanted to build your confidence, get you thinking about creative ways to mix, and once we have that foundation, we then can build on that. And no doubt that's actually one of my teaching methods actually, and that is build confidence by getting my students putting together pro level sets quickly and then building on that core foundation. Okay, so anyway, let's jump in. But by the way, you do want to watch every single example because each example builds off the last, and different circumstances may call for different approaches. So there's a lot. This is gold, this video. You really want to watch the whole thing. We have a breakdown here, okay, and it just sort of, drops off a bit. I know I've used this example sometimes in past videos. I think this is kind of vanilla. They're going to build on here, so definitely stick around. But I just want to show you the power of just adding a simple beat underneath that. Okay, and I could just hit play, right? And if you want to, you could have even filtered in on that. But now the question is, okay, do I just keep that beat going, or do you let the song go? See, here's the thing. Let's say I let the song go. Listen to it here. I think there might be a bit too much personality. I would have been better off just keeping the beat in the beginning, that beat there. I know you can sync. I personally try not to, but if I am practicing, sometimes using sync's fine, to be honest. I practice arrangements using sync, it's just easier than matching up the BPMs. But if I am playing live, once I've mastered the arrangement, I'd probably practice actually beat matching properly, just in case. It's always good. You see that beat there? It's adding some texture. You don't really have to worry too much about the bass, because there's only bass on the under song. The other song doesn't have a lot of bass, you can see that. If you wanted to create a build-up, I guess you could. But it's not necessary. It's fun. Okay, so that one there, pretty straightforward. Okay, so now for this next example, I really love this song, okay, and but you got this big breakdown here, and it goes for a couple of minutes without a beat, okay. Now, sure, if I'm only doing that once every now and then, that's okay. You can have those moments where you bring it back. But if every single song's doing that, you've got this up, down, vibe, and it's not great. So maybe with this one, instead of just putting a vanilla beat, maybe I could use the breakdown to kind of transition. I could have this going, but a beat underneath, add some texture, maybe play with some hot cues, make stuff line up, mess around. So let me give you some inspiration. By the way, I'd normally mix in probably earlier, but let's just cut to the chase here for the sake of the example. left off. Now, if I wanted to keep it vanilla, I could just loop back to the beginning and have that beat playing. But in this time, you know, I might let it progress. You know, let's see what happens. Maybe even add some effects to the Best of Me track. Let's go put some echo on it, maybe. Make the echo a bit thinner. Maybe a bit of high pass filter. Now I might jump to the main bit here. Let's use it as a transition. And sure, I could go back in and remix some of those vocals back in here and do a mashup, but it's a different video and not 100% necessary. I think I just showed there how you could make the breakdown a little bit more interesting. Okay, so for this next example, I love this one actually, and that means, say I've got this song playing, okay, but again, you've got over a minute with not a lot happening, and you've got dance floors, and if you're always playing these bits, like, to be honest, like you could lose people. So in this case, instead of adding beat and like energy, how about we add familiarity? So in this case, I've got the vocal lined up. Normally I'd mix in, like I said, but I just want to give you the example. See, I don't really need to have the bass out. There's not a lot of bass on either song. If you want to, I know people say not to turn these up, but let's say I want to turn up that vocal. Don't listen to what everyone says. Do what sounds good. I probably wouldn't be turning the bass up ever, but sometimes I want to turn up the vocal. Okay, and as you see, that was cool. Say this breakdown coming up, like it's cool, but let's say, right, that last drop is the better drop. That happens all the time. Maybe I could just, you know, put a vocal in the breakdown, keep it interesting. Moving on the dance floor. Dancing straight. Now it's going to start getting a bit messy. Maybe I'll put the Ocean Drive on top for a little bit. Okay, again, making the breakdown more interesting. That's what it's all about. Okay, so this next one, this is, you know, okay, with a lot of techno, maybe in the breakdowns, it can be a really cool pattern, but not a lot of beat. But this is borderline now layering, and, you know, sometimes with the deeper genres, it's more about really drawing out your transitions. So this one here, I might draw this one out a lot, and I'll show you what each song's doing. I did my best, but I'm just saying, say the breakdown on its own here, let's have a listen. even though I love this, it's epic. But maybe I find a song in a similar key, maybe I can use another song to complement that and not take anything away from it. That would be the goal. I might, I don't usually hit sync, but I just want to show you the example quickly. I think I've got anything deep here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to bring the bass into this one because this one's not going to have bass. Okay, so the one on the left doesn't have bass, so I'm going to bring this one in here and have the bass of this track to keep the beat going. Just showing without it, right? And people are like, what? So with it. And you see, that's that, okay? Right, just to show you, I'd never be doing this live, but that's that, and this is this with it. Pull back the personality, let this personality be higher in the mix. I could always pull it back here. Now, maybe I could let this one be the main song again, but listen, without this one, see that's that? This one's the one with the personality there. So now they're kind of swapping roles. This one's going the personality, this one's got the beat. And that's the beginning of, it's another video really, but it's kind of like how to mix techno. Play with the frequencies. But now I could pull this one out, load up a new song, or I could actually use this outro, or as this song starts to fade out, to bring in the melodies of this song. Why not? Let's experiment. Let's see. I'll show you what. I'd never be doing this live, but just to show you, okay? You got that, and you've got, okay, that sound, okay? So, see, but that's that one. That's a classic sound, and then you got that together. Let's see. They're complementing each other, but I make a choice. This one can be further back. But I've definitely got to be aware that on side B, that drop's coming up, and I want that left song out by the time that drop comes. Maybe I can start working it. Anyway, I'm going to do my best to always go into something a little bit personal at the end of each video for the true followers out there that appreciate the spiritual side of my teaching. So anyway, just a quick announcement. You might have figured out I'm back in Thailand for 6 weeks. And to be honest, I actually come here, I do my best work here, and I actually come here to work. And I know that's weird, right? Like most people think of Thailand as a holiday destination, but for me, my work almost feels like part of me, and to basically see how many people are responding positively to all my content, my courses, it makes it all the more rewarding for me. So I want to connect with that. So perhaps this isn't a spiritual tip as such this time, but more of a heads up to explain the different backdrops that may be happening over the next few weeks. So please keep watching. So I'm just warming up here, and I have a ton of long form content mapped out for you. I'm actually in a really good place right now. So sure, I'm still going to do shorts, and I really appreciate you watching those too, and liking and commenting, as no doubt the better my channel grows, the more inspired I am to keep this going for you all. So okay, much love. Thanks for your support. Hope that video was good.